Hello and welcome back to the Charity Shop Chat podcast with myself, Mimi Cartwright.
And with me, Charlotte Greenwood. As always, this podcast is powered by the Charity Retail Consultancy. So we support charities with expert retail guidance, training and strategic insight to help them maximise income and impact. And don't forget to sign up to the Charity Retail Learning subscription in conjunction with the CRA to get access to almost 50 training and modules designed specifically for our sector.
So today's episode is all about how pre-loved fashion goes beyond clothes on reels. It's all about connection and community and how those things can turn secondhand style into real sustainable funds for good causes. Because right now, people don't just want to shop, they want to belong, have connection, form communities, and pre-loved fashion has the incredible ability to bring people together around these shared values.
And thankfully, secondhand fashion is no longer niche. So from Instagram to in-store events, pre-loved style is becoming more aspirational, expressive, and definitely community-led as well. But building that kind of engaged audience doesn't happen by accident. It takes consistency, authenticity, and heart. And that's exactly why we're excited about today's guest. So she is someone who has built a loyal, engaged community around pre-loved fashion, not just selling clothes, but sharing stories along the way.
Her content is colourful, inclusive, and really refreshingly honest. She shows that pre-loved isn't about perfection, it's about finding pieces that make you feel good. And at the heart of her work is community. From styling inspiration to behind the scenes, she brings people along for the whole journey.
So grab a cuppa, turn that volume up, and get ready to feel inspired. And also grab some M&Ms because this is definitely the way to this girl's heart. So please welcome to the Charity Shop Chat podcast, a thrifted influencer with a massive 361,000 followers. It is Becky's Bazaar.
Hello. Thanks, guys, for having me. That introduction was incredible. I'm going to just re-listen to that.
I know. Put that in your brag file for
yeah.
A little bit.
LinkedIn and all that.
So welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on this episode. Obviously, we've met before.
Yeah.
So we worked together. Was it only just last year or the other
I think
year?
it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, wasn't it?
We did a London Fashion Week. How bougie is that?
I know.
God, so jealous.
I know. Sustainable fashion show with Isabel Hospice. And you walked our catwalk.
Yeah, and I turned up on the day and I realised there was stairs on the runway. And I'd been practising walking in a straight line and walking back. I hadn't practised the stairs part and I went into a full-blown panic. But you eased my nerves and I got through it.
No, you did amazing. So you brought your own kind of thrifted outfits.
Yeah.
You worked your own kind of incredible style. And I think you closed the show.
I closed it, thank God, because I don't think I could have been the first one. I copied whoever was in front of me. Exactly.
No, but you did amazing. You were so good.
Oh, thank you.
You were so good.
We like to start from the beginning when we do these podcasts. So how did Becky's Bazaar begin? What's the story?
So it actually started back in 2019. I think it was about July. I was at uni at the time and I just finished my undergraduate degree, came home and my mum and dad basically said, the Bank of Mum and Dad is officially closed. Like,
Rude.
No, how rude, how selfish. That was fair enough. So they'd closed the bank and I thought, oh God, what am I going to do? I knew I wanted to go back to do a master's. So I kind of had to figure out some way of making money during that summer before I went back. And I just opened up my wardrobe, realised that there was a ridiculous amount of stuff in there, as you can probably imagine. And some of it, I just never wore. So I thought I'll list it online. It was Depop back in those days.
Yeah, I miss those days.
I know, I love Depop. Listed it and I remember it was a 2-piece Boohoo co-ord set. And I listed it for £30 and about 5 minutes later I got the ka-ching notification that I'd sold it. And then but from that moment on I was just hooked and I was listing and kind of making a decent amount of money just to keep in my bank to go back to uni with. And I went back to uni, did my master's, and I was kind of just doing it as a side hustle, a little bit here and there, picking things up and then flipping them for a profit. And around that time, I kind of made an Instagram account, and my mum actually was the one who came up with the name. She's got a scrap piece of paper somewhere with Becky's Bazaar written on it. And
I always wondered about the origin of the name.
yeah, my mum was the first one. I want to find that scrap piece of paper actually, because that's a piece of history.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So set up an Instagram. Slowly started on social media with the main aim to just promote what I was selling. I didn't know you could do it as a job back then. It wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, and basically the entire world shut down. I came back home from uni and basically just had all this time alongside writing my thesis to pour into reselling and pour into social media. And that was kind of the pivotal moment for me, where it kind of went from a side hustle into something that could potentially become a business.
Brilliant. Well, you've done amazingly.
Thank you.
Amazingly.
Thanks
in such
so
a short
much.
amount of time as well. You've really flipped it around.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's so nice that you remember that first piece that you sold.
Yeah.
I know.
That is so iconic.
Yeah.
I wonder where that is now.
I know. I wonder who's got that.
yeah, it's probably done the rounds of charity shops as well.
Yeah, I hope so.
That'd be the nice story, isn't it? Is it just going through that kind of circular economy?
Yeah.
So obviously in your day-to-day role as content creator and thrifting influencer, you go to a lot of charity shops.
Yeah.
So when you walk into a charity shop, then what instantly makes you want to kind of stay and browse? Are you one of those charity shoppers who likes a rummage to really find that bargain, or do you want to be able to see it all laid out and beautifully merchandised? Because I do think people tend to fall in kind of those two kind of camps, don't they?
I think for me, it depends on the day. If I wake up and I'm feeling a bit tired, I love those shops that are, characterized in colour and size. How incredible is that?
Yeah.
But then, sometimes me and my mum absolutely love a rummage. Those old school charity shops where you literally have to climb over things to find stuff, and you're in the bottom of boxes, everything's everywhere. Absolutely love them. So yeah, I think for me it's just a bit of both. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then along those lines, when you walk into a charity shop, what is, as a reseller, someone that knows what they're looking for, or just someone who's got very good taste in clothes, what instantly makes you want to stay and browse?
I think an important thing to note is that nowadays I don't actually do a lot of reselling from charity shops. For me, the main reason I go into a charity shop and have a browse is, for me, looking for my own wardrobe, firstly. Secondly, presents for other people. I mean,
nice.
We've just had Christmas and so many of the presents were from charity shops.
Brilliant.
And then obviously thirdly, for the content, absolutely love making content about charity shops. I don't really tend to go in and look for stuff to then flip for a profit anymore.
Yeah.
It's not really like that for me. But in terms of wanting to stay, and as soon as I walk into a charity shop, what I'm looking for, do you know what? I'm going to just say friendly staff.
Yeah, makes a difference.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. I think especially when you're kind of making content or you're known online. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm a celebrity or famous at all.
Definitely known. I mean, even your mum gets spotted, doesn't she? I love
Mum
that.
loves it, yeah.
Love that for her.
But sometimes it can feel, I'm not sure if I'm welcome or if they understand what I'm doing or things like that. So I think friendly staff 100%, and a lot of charity shops have that already, which is really nice.
It makes a difference when you walk in and they have eye contact and they go, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
And they know when to toe the line between being over friendly and letting you browse.
Exactly.
And actually being welcoming as well. So I totally get what you mean.
Because that's one of the things with charity shops is you have to spend a reasonable amount of time in there looking at every section. With a regular shop, I need a new pair of shoes, I'll go to the shoes section. And it's probably a lot bigger, so you can get lost in there. Whereas with charity shops, you've got to feel comfortable looking for a reasonable amount of time to find what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and having that, especially when you're going in and making videos as well. Obviously, all charities should welcome that, and charity retail spaces, because it works for both parties in that situation massively. But having that space to be able to be comfortable, get your phone out and find those gems and promote that charity shop the way that it should be and that you want it to be and they want it to be, it's so important to have that nice, inclusive space.
Exactly. I agree.
And out of interest, I'm going rogue here because Mimi knows I go rogue on the question.
I love it.
I've always wanted to ask, do you tell them beforehand that you're going to be recording? Or do you just whip your phone out and start?
Well, a little bit of both, because I think one of the things with me is I like to be respectful, obviously, and I never want to feature anyone else in the content who's not given consent. So I think it depends on how busy the shop is. Quite a lot of the ones that I film in I've done before, so they already know and I've already got a relationship with them, so that is quite nice. But if it's a new one that I've never been into before, then I will just say, listen, can I?
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you do build those relationships with charity shops because you go in there regularly. It's not like normal commercial corporate retailers. You go in and you see the same volunteers, the same shop managers, and they'll even say, oh, we got this donation and I thought of you.
Yeah.
If it's an M&M's.
M&M, I've got a magnet on my fridge. One of the charity shops here literally saved it for me, and I was just like, that's so nice.
Yeah.
You've really made it, in my opinion. If someone can remember, it's like when someone remembers your like coffee order. If someone has like saved something for me in a charity shop, oh my God, my heart is like melting. It's gorgeous.
And it always feels surreal because I'm just at home, most likely in my fluffy socks and pajamas, like editing this video and posting it. And you don't actually think that real people are going to watch it, which sounds so ridiculous. But when you're out and about and someone says something about your life that they've watched, I'm like, oh my God, like real people are seeing this. This is crazy.
It must be really weird though, isn't it? Because that's one of the first things I said when we came here. So we're recording this podcast episode in Becky's house, and obviously we've seen it on Instagram, and I walked in and I was like, I feel like I already know the place. I can show myself around.
I know. I'm like, you don't even need to ask where the toilet is. Just, you know where it is.
Do you get used to that, or does it still kind of shock you and go, oh God, that's weird?
It feels sometimes overwhelming, but in a really good way.
Yeah.
Because I worry that maybe people think I'm quite cool, and in my head, I'm literally the most boring. Like, I'm in bed by 9 p.m. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm in bed by 9 p.m. Like, so I worry that sometimes people think I'm cool and I'm not.
No, you're definitely giving me cool girl vibes.
Yeah, also being in bed before 9 a.m. is 9 p.m. 9 a.m. That's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But 9 p.m. even cooler. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
No, I also like, on that note about charity shops, like my background so far in life is working in like charity shops, like, so having like those people that like come in regularly, literally like as much as they make your day, as you're saying, like people that come in regularly like really make my day as well. That's
so interesting from the other side, another perspective of it.
Definitely. And like you do, like when I worked at my local cancer research at uni, and then like have worked in various shops in Manchester and London, and like you do have those people that like that could be the only time they have a conversation during the week with anyone. Like your shop managers, we were saying this morning, weren't we? Shop managers are so amazing. Like they're so much more than just a shop manager. But yeah, having that like real connection, I think, is what makes charity shops so special.
Definitely.
And, like,
it's like a little community, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So what's one thing that charity shops do really well that you don't think they get enough credit for?
I would say competing with these big brands. Do you know what? They obviously don't have as much of a budget as these big, I mean, I don't just want to say fast fashion because it's every big brand, but some of the campaigns that charity shops have come out with recently is crazy, and they're continuously adapting, even just tapping into social media and things like that. I just think big props to them for competing with the best, really. And I think people are more opening their eyes more to shopping secondhand, grabbing a bargain, supporting these charities. And, that's their USP really compared to these fast fashion brands. And you can find really cool stuff in these charity shops that nobody
100%.
else has. And the thrill of the hunt, I think, when I first started posting online, there was a stigma behind shopping secondhand. I mean, I first started posting 5 years ago, and yeah, I definitely noticed a bit of a stigma. People thought it was their nan's old wardrobe, which, there's nothing wrong with that. Some nans have got some really good fashion sense. But they thought it was smelly and things like that. And then I think, I mean, not just saying my videos, because there's tons of amazing, pre-love fashion and content creators out there. But, I think definitely the rise of social media and things like that have helped kind of change people's minds and realise that going into a charity shop is cool, you know, and people will tag their friends in my comments and say, oh, should we go here on Saturday? And maybe something that you probably keep a secret from your friends back in the day is now becoming something that you plan and do with your friends, you know,
Nice.
and make a trip of it.
Absolutely.
No more gatekeeping charity shops.
No.
Tell everyone.
No,
Yeah.
so true. It is so true though, and I agree. Like I've probably been one of those people that have commented on your videos because I like that's mine and my friends' plans on the weekend. Like especially when we were at uni and like you needed a break from the library.
It's like an adrenaline rush a little bit.
Yeah.
The hunt, the treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to get. And you're spending a fraction of the price if you were to go to like...
Oh, definitely. And you do the humble brag, don't you? When they say, oh my God, I love your jumper. And you're like, charity shop.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, my whole outfit cost me £2.50. Look at me. They're probably looking at me like, oh, wow, she needs help.
So here's a question with my kind of head of retail hat back on. So if my charity shop didn't have that kind of younger customer, that younger demographic, how would I get them into my shop? How would I get you guys into my shop?
I think social media, 100%. I'm obviously biased, but I think that is the way to, you know, get the younger generation, you know, and older generation now. But yeah, I think advertising on social media, what you've got in the shop. A lot of charity shops nowadays as well are doing mystery bags or fill a bag events, and they go absolutely crazy online. People love that. So just a concept like that, some sort of event, would be really good. So yeah, I'd say like host an event, a fill a bag event or something along that line.
Yeah.
And then advertise it on social media.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, obviously you have worked with a fair few charities, but have you seen any charity campaigns on social media recently that have caught your eye and that you thought that's really innovative?
I think Bernardo's worked and did a campaign with Wicked or alongside Wicked.
Oh, yeah, they did.
That was quite cool because,
Yeah.
I mean, Wicked was this huge thing. It is this huge thing. And to see a charity up there alongside all the other brands is pretty cool.
Yeah, Wicked was crazy.
I know.
Like, in terms of all of that
Promotion.
different promotions. Yeah.
I did some training with St. Raphael's Hospice. I did gift aid training. And one of the assistant managers, I feel like his name was Tyler. I'm hoping that's the right shout out. But he did a window for Wicked because it was before the second one was released, I think. And it was brilliant. He'd done like the whole Glinda and the Elphaba outfit. He'd made like the cape for Elphaba. And it was so good. And I love it when charity retail would get on board with those kind of trends and they bring that mainstream stuff into the charity shops. I think it's
brilliant. Relevant at that time, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So pricing in charity shops is quite a hot topic at the moment. What makes pricing feel fair from a shopper's perspective?
Do you know what? I think there's actually this misconception that charity shops don't have to pay rent and don't have to pay their staff.
100%.
And shall we just squash that now?
Because definitely
that's just not true, and they need to make that money to firstly be able to recoup all those costs. And you know, there's some huge charity shop superstores out there which I can imagine cost a fortune to run. So they've got to recoup that cost as well as make some money to actually put towards the charity that they're trying to raise money for. So I think for me, there's got to be a line between them getting that, but also I know that people want to go in and find a bargain. So it's a tough one. And I think a lot of charities out there do a really good job because it is hard because there is this misconception. But yeah, I think it's about knowing what that piece retails for. Maybe it needs to be fair in relation to the condition. But yeah, I think expecting things for pennies is just, you know, unless it's, as I mentioned with the fill a bag event, like a lot of charities are clearing stock to make way for new stock. So that's quite a good idea because you do get things for like 20p, which is good. But, you know, I don't know. I think there's a line and it's a difficult one. And as a customer, I think if you know it's going to a good cause and you're getting a really nice piece, I think people are willing to invest. You know, I've picked up things for like £20 plus, which, I mean, we're in the Northwest here, so that's quite expensive for a charity shop. But, you know, if it's a piece that I'm going to wear, it's an investment and it's going to be in my wardrobe for a while, then I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I think people think because they get the stock for free that it should
that
be.
it's making 100% profit,
Yeah,
which just
and
isn't
it's just
true.
not. Yeah, you're so right.
It's a massive misconception, which I find quite irritating because when you have to manage those budgets, it's really, really hard. So let me break it down for you. So rents when I was in Hertfordshire, working in Hertfordshire, rent can be anywhere from £25,000 to £50,000.
That's
that there is no discount from landlords at all. You might get discount on business rates from councils. It can be up to kind of 70%. You might get 100% if you're lucky, but you're still paying thousands of pounds for business rents. You can get charged service charge, and that can be like, I think most I paid was £7,500 a year. You've got to pay all your staff. You've got your heating bills because you don't want, no one wants to shop in a cold shop and no one wants to work in a cold shop. You've got the water bills. You've got to pay for the waste to be taken away, especially when you've got so much fly tipping outside of your charity shop. It's so annoying.
Point.
I think you have to pay up to, for just the number of shops that I had, it was up to £40,000 a year just for waste removal. And then there's just normal general waste that comes with running the shop. So you add up all of those things, and that's just in Hertfordshire. God bless you, charity shops in London, because your rents are crazy. It's hundreds and thousands of pounds, and so you have to make all of that in sales before you even break even.
See, I knew this, but those numbers, I had no idea they were that much. That is crazy.
I know. It's the next time people come in, it's because you do have to make a profit. And actually, charity shops aren't there to provide a bargain. They're there to raise money for whatever cause that they promote, and they're not going to be able to do that unless they charge something that is going to make a profit. And yes, there's going to be some items that are going to be really, really cheap, or you might think they're overpriced as well. But then there's going to be times where you find an amazing designer brand that is really cheap. So there's definitely give and take.
I mean, I think a bargain is just paying a reasonable amount less than retail, to be honest.
Exactly.
I consider that a bargain if it retails for £20 and I got it for £5, like that's quite a saving, really.
And I think also some people have kind of rose-tinted glasses on and they forget actually things aren't as cheap as they used to be. So everyone always goes, I could get that cheaper in Primark. Have you been to Primark lately? Like, they're really much more expensive than they used to be. And that is because costs in general are going up for retail. So it's the same thing's going to happen in charity. So in your opinion then, Becky, would storytelling around the impact per item sold and what that does for the charity, would that change how people shop, or are they just not that bothered? Do they just want that bargain?
I think you've got different people who think different things. I think maybe certain people just want a bargain, but I think then you've got other people who care about the message and want to shop secondhand and want to shop in charity shops to help that charity, and obviously at the same time get a new piece for their wardrobe or whatever it might be. So it's a win-win in that sense. But I don't think telling that message can cause any harm. I think if you tell that message, then the right people will listen and go to the charity shop and think about the impact that t-shirt that they're buying for £5 then helps whatever the charity shop does.
Yeah, completely. I think it's just guilt-free shopping then. It is, even though you know that like you're doing a bit to save the planet and you're doing a bit to save your wallet, which is all good things to feel great about when you go charity shopping. Having that like message, knowing that what you're doing is making a difference somewhere, is very helpful.
And it feels like you can't lose really, because you're helping the charity, you're getting a bargain, you're helping the environment, and you're finding unique stuff. Where's the loss in that? I think it's just
that's what I tell my husband all the time when I come back from my charity shop visits.
Yeah, your fifth bag of
with
charity
bags
shop,
and bags.
Okay, we're going to move on to social media. So
okay. Strap in.
Yeah,
that's your area of expertise.
So from your experience with Becky's Bazaar, what kind of content sparks the most conversation and connection, and in like media metrics like interaction?
I'd say pricing and mystery bags. Anything remotely controversial. I mean, controversial seems like such a strong word, but anything sort of along that line where people can give their opinion, and often people's opinions differ, then that just sparks such a debate in the comments.
So interesting.
So I'll pick up like mystery bags, and I always ask the audience whether they think it was worth X amount
I
of
do
money.
love those posts. I'm not going to lie. Every time you do one, I'm like, oh, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? And I'm like, oh, it is worth it. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. The thing with that question is, though, it just completely depends on, it's just a subjective thing, isn't it,
It's
really?
your taste, isn't it? Yeah.
Unless you literally, I mean, I went to one and I accidentally picked up the display. It was a £20 mystery box, and I picked up the display, and me and Mum were like, this seems awfully light. But we were like, oh, well, we'll open it for the content. I was thinking there might be a gift card inside, something light. We opened it up, luckily just outside the shop, and it was literally empty. So that was like no argument there that maybe wasn't worth £20. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
You're like, I bought air.
Yeah, lovely.
So there's a lesson for our charity shops then. Maybe make it a bit clearer if you've got display street shops out on the shop floor.
But also a great message of like, this is a good way that maybe like local charity shops, or if they have their own social media page, should be jumping on. Is this worth it? Just
asking a question, interacting. Yeah.
That is
true.
true.
No, that is really good.
So what do you think charity shops get wrong on social media? Where do you think they probably aren't doing the best job, and what can we learn from that?
I think a little bit of what we spoke about before. I have had sometimes pushback with filming. I know a few charity shops completely have banned filming. Which,
really?
Yeah.
That seems a bit short-sighted, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm respectful. If it's no filming, it's no filming. That's completely fine. I'm not going to start arguing or anything like that.
Yeah.
But for me, it just seems a little bit strange because, I mean, my content is never geared towards putting people down. Like, even with the mystery boxes, like if I open something and I personally think, oh, yeah, probably wouldn't, like, I would never express that opinion to the point where it's hateful or rude. I kind of just leave it open to the audience to decide, because obviously it is subjective. Something that I maybe don't think was worth it, someone else might think, oh yeah, that's great, I really wanted that. And a mystery is a mystery at the end of the day, so you get what you pay for.
You know the risk, don't you?
Exactly, yeah. So I think, I don't know, I kind of can't see where completely banning filming in the shops would come from. I mean, I know more than anyone that social media isn't always a nice place, and people aren't afraid to share their opinion. So I think potentially they're trying to avoid that. I don't know, but then, so much good can come from it.
On that kind of note then, if charity shops, if they could only post one type of content consistently, what do you think that would be?
This is a hard question, I'm like thinking of so many ideas, but obviously I can't do them all. I mean, I would like to see like a stock preview. So maybe like you could hold up a t-shirt. This is £5, just an example. That £5 then does this. And then you see the transition, I guess, from the shop to the actual thing that it helps. I always love it when charity shops hop on like really current trends, like sounds or things or dances, anything like that. I'm just like that. You are great.
Yeah,
you know so cool. Yeah.
And so if we talk about kind of selling online then, so most charities sell on eBay and Vinted, but what makes you kind of stop scrolling when you see things on online platforms? What kind of stands out for you?
I think for me, it's before that point, and it's more the search. Like if I'm searching for something, I'm really specific. So I'll put like the size, the colour, things that I'm looking for. So I think just a well-written, specific description potentially, so that it appears in that search when I'm looking for it.
Okay. So you think that's more important than photography?
Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting one for me, because about 3 years ago, if you would have asked me this question, I would have said photography over anything.
Right.
Like clear pictures, like really good pictures. But now, interestingly, I actually look for stuff that potentially doesn't have the best pictures, because I think that's going to be a bargain. And I'm not saying throw your t-shirt on the floor all scrumpled up and take a picture of it. I just mean that, when you see those professional pictures, you think, oh, okay, you know what you're doing. Yeah, this is going to be a higher price. So I don't think it matters to the point that it used to. I think as long as, you're being honest, you take pictures of the tag and the whole item and the condition. But yeah, I think descriptions probably slightly more important.
I think Pinterest as well is such a big thing.
Yeah.
For
Is that
like,
still around?
Oh my
God,
yeah.
I'm totally showing
What?
my age here. Everyone's younger than me. I'm like, is that Pinterest still
But
around? Is that still
it did
Pinterest?
have a little, I think it did have a moment, and now it's like come straight back
Yeah.
up. Like,
Is this the whole 90s is basically coming back?
Oh,
So
I use
Pinterest
Yeah.
boards
Pinterest
are
every
back.
day.
yeah, I think just because it's got caught up with the algorithm, and so once you've pinned one thing, you know you're going to get a load more, and it's just like complete new inspiration. I think the same goes with, like, you can see something that you like on Pinterest and then you can find it on Vinted, but it will just be the scrunched up dress that's on someone's floor with low lighting, because that is how you find the bargains. And yeah, because I guess resellers who have like done so well kind of have had that great studio lighting and a mannequin, and so, you know, you can see that that's going to be a little, not maybe pricier, but yeah, a little bit more well thought out. Yeah, definitely. So what advice would you give to a charity just starting out with online reselling? So starting their first eBay page, maybe getting their own website.
I think, as we've already mentioned, just clear descriptions. I mean, there's nowadays you can use AI.
Yeah,
There's
that
all
is
sorts of ways to
massive.
streamline it and make it easier. And then I'm going to sound like a broken record, but promoting on social media
Yeah.
always.
And you do quite a lot on Whatnot, don't you? I've
Yes.
seen you
Oh, yeah,
post
that's
about that
another
before,
thing.
but what is it? Because I have no
Yeah.
clue. What is it? How does it
Yeah.
work? Is this something that charities should be tapping into? How does it work?
100%. Like, I love Whatnot. Whatnot is basically an app where you live stream sell. I go live on there once a month, but I mean, some sellers are live on there literally every day. And I do an auction, so I auction everything off starting at £1. And yeah, people tune in live and bid on things. So it's just a really nice way of like interacting with your community, like literally live right there.
So, yeah, so tell Grandma. When you say go live,
Yeah.
so you literally mean like you're recording yourself live. It is
Yeah.
streaming on Whatnot. I was about to call it WhatsApp. It's streaming on Whatnot.
Whatnot?
All my friends at home are now laughing at me because I'm just really showing how old I am. So people then tune in and they're
Yeah.
watching you, and then they're doing live auctions.
Yeah, you basically,
time as
so I'll run something starting at £1. I can do it for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that. Hold it up, I'll describe it, and then we'll start it, and then people just swipe at the bottom and bid on it
That's
live.
so
God, that's
cool.
blown my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you don't know about it either.
No, I'd never heard of this
What?
before. I know.
I think it'd be a game changer for charities, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like for cold stock to have
Yeah.
someone doing that just for stuff that's going to get moved on or
Yeah.
put in the rag anyway. I feel like
Exactly,
that's so
because-
smart.
Because so I'll do a show, sometimes it'll last like 2 hours, and I'm guaranteed to sell like 100 and something items, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Whereas in the past I would have had to have listed that on like Vinted or Depop, and it
then wait for a
sometimes
bid.
it would have sat there
Yeah,
for
yeah.
months, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'd rather, for me personally as a reseller, I'd rather
Yeah.
get
just churn it
a
out.
little bit of money and then churn it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I always say I'm not in the storage business, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather keep something for
That's such a good saying. Charity retailers should take
Yeah,
that saying, definitely.
exactly. So you do like a Whatnot stream in that situation,
Yeah.
and clear out loads of stuff, make a little bit of extra money. Obviously, someone needs to ship it all out and do all of that and
Yeah.
learn that. But
Yeah.
you know, it's relatively quite quick, and yeah, I
Yeah.
think it would be a game changer.
Definitely. And also it plays into the whole circular economy, and those are some things that, like, if you hadn't picked it up or if you hadn't put it on Whatnot, it could have gone straight to landfill or
Yeah.
straight to the bin. And it's the same with charity retailers. Like, if something isn't selling, like, there is the risk that might not ever be sold.
Yeah.
So
it's better that finds a good home, even if it's just for like
Definitely.
£3-4 or whatever. And
oh
then-
my God, this has blown my mind.
And I guess it creates that bit of like sense of urgency, isn't it? And like
Yeah.
it's going back to the kind of the thrill of the hunt, and it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, I've got it, I want it, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right then
absolutely.
and there.
People are way
Exactly.
more likely to go and grab that in that 30
Yeah.
seconds than they are if they can like deliberate on it for
Yeah.
a few days on.
And you can
Vinted.
grab some really good bargains on Whatnot. There's a
really?
ton, like, it's not even just pre-loved fashion. Like, I buy my toilet rolls on there,
No.
sweets, food, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But cereals, I've bought loads of cereal.
Moving on then from online selling
Yeah.
to creators and collaborations with charities, how do you think charities can approach creators without like big budgets and still offer value?
I think
that must be a big thing for you, right? Because you
Yeah.
need to get paid. This is your job.
Exactly. And I think that's like the difficult thing. Obviously, I'm running a business, I've got a mortgage to pay. This is my full-time job. You know, if I don't get paid, then this can't happen for much longer, sort of thing. But obviously, by the same token, I love charity shops. You know, that's my thing. And, you know, I completely understand that these charities don't have these big budgets to be able to work with, you know, creators and things like that. So I think for me, it's them being aware of that and still having respect for my time and
Yeah.
the value that I bring to the table. I think one good thing is, you know, like I've collaborated with Isabel Hospices and all of that, and the most amazing opportunities came from it.
Mutual wins.
Exactly. And certain charities, you know, they've opened their back stock room, and I've been able to get the most amazing content and things like that, which then obviously benefits me and benefits them.
Yeah.
You know, charities have this incredible situation going on where there's untapped potential there, I think, as a creator, that you can gain access to these cool things that they're doing. Yeah, so I think kind of having that mutual benefit. And I think the big thing for me is just to have like full creative freedom. Like I love creating content more than I love the money. Do you know what I mean? That is always fundamentally my passion. And I think even if this wasn't a business for me, I'd always do that. So having the opportunities to do that, and someone completely opening up their shop and saying, you know what, go for it, run around. That is literally like my playground. Like I love that. So I think, yeah, just kind of giving me full creative freedom.
So if a charity was to approach you, then is it best to kind of just say, right, this is a situation, we have no money budget, we don't have any financial budget, however we do have excess stock, or we're happy for you to come in like out of hours and kind of have a good browse, or
100%.
if it's a kilo sale or a mystery bag, you know, you can have 2 mystery bags, or you know, a couple of kilos free, kind of pay in kind that of the stuff that you do have. It's not necessarily cash.
I think exactly. I think sometimes it's been hard for me in the past because I've worked with charity shops completely for free. And, you know, I'm there traveling across the country.
Which is expensive.
Exactly. And then I meet up with 3 social media people from that charity who are all on the payroll. And I'm thinking, obviously, you know, that's fine. But then it becomes like the second time and the third time. And it's quite difficult for me. And I'm not expecting loads of money at all. But I think it's just the respect thing of understanding that I've got a job to do.
And as like young people, I feel like it is so important to like feel valued and know your worth, because your Instagram and like content creators, who focus on like secondhand and promoting like a more sustainable world, which you do, are like so incredibly valuable. And as soon as you post a charity shop or post a charity or post a car boot sale or anything like that, so many people who are like on Instagram or addicted to our phones, as we all are then just so much more likely to do it. And that shouldn't be diminished.
I think that's the thing, just feeling valued.
Exactly. Value your like young content creators, value young people, because we are the future of secondhand and we are desperate to make an impact. So yeah, absolutely, there should definitely be mutual respect, and I'm glad you brought that up as well, because I completely agree.
It's difficult because I'm like worried that people would take that the wrong way and think that, oh, I'm demanding money from a charity, but it's just like, you know, obviously I have a mortgage, I need to be paid to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
The thing is, you have to answer to a board, right? And to trustees, and it's hard to demonstrate the return on investment if you're spending cold hard cash on a P&L. But if I'm just using excess stock that would have gone to rag and I would have got pence for it,
Yeah.
then it makes more sense to collaborate with a creator and be able to offer to pay in kind of stock instead, because they get content, they get stock that they can either then go on to resell or keep for themselves, and it works. And I think it is about how you approach things.
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely. Because I've had it in the past. I think, I mean, you said it, just being completely honest that you have no budget, you understand the value that person can bring, but you can't provide any financial like benefit to it, but you can do X, Y, and Z. I think that for me is more than enough. And I think sometimes, even getting content, being let into a charity shop and having free reign, I can churn out like 10 plus videos, post them, and then I make money from that content. So to me, that's also a win. So it doesn't have to come out of the charity's pocket, but if they're giving me that opportunity, that also works for me, is having that full creative freedom in a shop to just make as many videos as I want and run around and do random things. Well,
hopefully you'll get an influx of offers.
I'd love
goes
that.
out. All charities, I do recommend working with Becky. She's a lovely girl and she makes incredible content, and pay her as well. So what's a great example of a kind of charity content creator, thrifting influencer collaboration that you've seen or would love to see?
I feel like I'm going to go big here, and I think Mr. Beast worked with, I'm so sorry, I can't actually remember the specific name, but it was a tree charity.
A tree charity.
Like environmental, for planting trees. So it was like one like or one subscriber would plant a tree.
Oh, okay.
And obviously he's on such a big scale, so that was like crazy. But I think that would be a really cool thing for a charity to do kind of in this country, is like one something equals one. Like a concept that's really easy to understand and really clear that then people can like buy into.
No, that's a great idea.
I think it's called Tree Teams.
Tree Teams, it could be.
Trying to be producer and host at the same time.
Multitasking, love it.
That sounds really cool.
But apart from that, obviously the Bernardo's Wicked, that was great. There's been loads. There's been tons.
I do like the kind of the charity shop challenges and things like that. I enjoy watching those kind of things where they're set a challenge of find this outfit for under a tenner or something inspired by Wicked or whatever that might be.
Money challenges. I love money challenges, things like that.
And they get people really involved as well, like on social media, trying to find something that's under like a £5
for a specific outfit. Like I went to a wedding a couple of years ago and I was trying to find my outfit in a charity shop, and I had 2 different options, and I genuinely needed the advice on which one to wear. So I asked my followers in a video, and everyone was giving me such good advice. Like I need them to get me dressed every morning.
So we have one question that we ask everyone at the end of our podcast.
I'm nervous. This is scary.
So we basically love to give the space for people to give a charity shop shout out.
Okay.
It can be people, it can be shops, it can be whole organisations.
There's a charity, I think they have 2 shops, I could be wrong, they could have 3, but they're in Warrington, based in Warrington, and they're called Care UK Charity. They have quite a big shop on a retail park, like basically a superstore. And they're just incredible. The team is so lovely in there. I feel like they're doing a really good job of adapting. They do a lot of filler bag events. They do a lot of like £1 sales. They've actually invited me into their back room in the past, and I just think they're great. I think they're really kind of tapping into social media, and they're always taking donations as well, which is really nice. And obviously love the fact they're on a retail park, because the parking is just outside. It's so good.
So important, isn't it?
Absolutely. Okay, well, big shout out. I must go visit.
Yeah, you'd love it. They do home stuff and clothes as well, which is like quite rare in a charity shop for both of them. So Care UK Charity, if you're ever in Warrington, drop them a visit.
We might have to. Tour of the North.
While I'm up north, might as well.
Fantastic.
There's been such good takeaways from today. I've learned loads today. What have I learned?
glad.
I've learned about Whatnot. That sounds amazing. If you've got anyone who's willing to go in front of a camera, because that's the only thing I've found with charity is that there's some reluctant people. So if you've got anyone who's kind of more extroverted and outgoing and wants to get in front of the camera, Whatnot sounds like a bit of a no-brainer. Pinterest is back. Did not know that.
Have you been living under a rock?
Honestly, yeah, apparently.
2026, Pinterest is in and going to bed before 9 p.m.
Oh yeah,
So
1,000,000%.
I mean, I'm already doing that latter part, so that is fine.
Have mutual respect with content creators. Take that risk with young people because they can completely transform your online presence in charity retail.
And customer service, just welcome those customers in through the door, make them feel welcome, make them feel like they want to stay and rummage and browse. And really think about the descriptions when you are selling online on eBay and Vinted and stuff like that, to make sure that you are in the search results, you come up when they're looking for something specific. So if you want any help at all with your e-commerce strategy or your marketing, or you want training on customer service for your shops, then make sure that you get in contact with us at the Charity Retail Consultancy, and we would be happy to help.
Would you like to shout yourself out? Where can we find you?
Becky's Bazaar on every platform: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Whatnot, as we've learned about. Yeah,
amazing.
And make sure you follow us as well on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn. We are not on Whatnot, but
we might be
soon. Stay tuned.
So follow us on at the Charity Retail Consultancy. And yeah, that is all from us today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Becky, for joining us today. It's been such a great conversation.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
No problem.
Charity shops are full of stories that deserve to be told, and we love sharing them with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.